Hello, hello. Welcome back to the What We Said podcast. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope you're having a great start to your weekend.
Hey guys, what's up?
I got to give you your space.
Thank you.
So I have to admit something. I think that I have grown to become a more eloquent speaker sometimes. Let me just say this first. I don't listen back to the podcast. But when I do.
You're scared?
I'm scared.
We're
for
all
myself.
scared.
I'm like,
That's
I've
normal.
come so far. I never say like. I never say Oh, mama.
No,
You need to go to language arts class.
That's-
Like, that is not okay. The amount of likes I say, I'm so sorry. So I work on it, but also going back to a couple weeks ago, talking about that one book.
Word slut?
Yeah.
That we haven't read and we know nothing about.
I go back and forth.
You what?
I go back and forth of, is it okay to say like?
Yeah. No, I'll tell you a new discovery that I've had watching TV sometimes. If I'm feeling, like being annoying and kind of, if I'm feeling like psychoanalyzing, I guess.
Which always am.
Which I'm always in the mood for. I have realized with certain shows, like reality shows that I'll watch, the guys possibly say like and way more than the women. Truly, I really mean that. Like I've been paying attention to it recently and I'm like, this man says like more than any girl I know. And look, I'm judging him for it. But it is something that I think all people do. It's not just women, but it is, I go back and forth too, because on one hand, I don't think that it's inherently a bad thing. It's filler words. Sometimes I think it can become a crutch or something I do is if I'm trying to fill space or if I'm nervous talking about something, I will say like 200 times. That's what I've realized. If I'm talking about something vulnerable on the podcast, that's when I say it the most. I'm and I don't know, like, because I'm just trying to fill the space and not have there be silence or I don't know. So I just oversay it, I think. But I don't think it's something, I think it's something to be aware of, but not beat yourself up over because who cares? And that's why we're called the Valley Girls.
It's true. Thank you for that. That's
all
what I was
gonna be
looking
okay.
for, reassurance.
Yeah.
That I'll be okay. That it's okay that I slip up sometimes.
You know why you're feeling that way?
Why?
Because we are a part of the anxious generation.
What is that?
I'm reading, it's us. No, I'm reading a book called The Anxious Generation right now.
Can relate.
And the cutoff, it says anyone born after 95. So we're not anxious, baby.
What are we?
We are. Well, we're born in 95.
Yeah.
So, you're saying
after.
What generation are we?
What generation is before? The cool one?
I don't know what that's considered. Millennials, what that is.
The manipulative one?
I don't know. The book is really focused on Gen Z, I guess. But since we are the cusp, the book is for us as well. It's everything that they're saying. I'm like, yes. Basically, it's talking about the huge uptick in mental health struggles, specifically this is when it really went up dramatically, was in the 2010s. So between 2010 and 2015, they call it like the rewiring, where it's like severe mental health issues, specifically for young women, started to pop up a lot more because, and if you think about it, that was our high school experience. Like those years, I mean, we graduated in 13. So those years were we kind of missed it. Like I said, because we're right on the cusp, we maybe kind of missed certain parts of it, but it's basically the difference of having a childhood with no phones and social media versus having a childhood with it. And it kind of popped up when we were teens. So it's not like we grew up with phones like some of these Gen Z kids did, but just talking about, a lot of different aspects of it is focused obviously on social media and all of that, but the book is kind of honing in on the differences of childhood. Yeah. Where it's like if your childhood is more focused on outside and independent play and things like that versus having a phone-based childhood where your screens are a huge part of your life, whether you're playing video games, whether you're watching stuff, whether you're on your phone, on social media, whatever, and how parents basically, it's so fascinating. I'm not trying to get into this whole, I didn't know I was going to go down this whole rabbit hole, but basically how parents started to become more fearful in the early 2000s and late 90s because I think they started getting access to more information. So a lot of parents during that time started getting really worried about
kidnapping.
Kidnapping, sex offenders, things like that. So they would keep their kids inside more. And the technology started to come up more and more. So it was
I could see that.
oh, my kids are safer if they're at home watching a movie or playing video games than if they're outside unattended. So it was almost like they were overprotective in the physical world, but then underprotective with social media. And he's basically saying, like, we have to be very also proactive and protective over our children with technology because they are so vulnerable and to addictions and so many other things. So it's like very fascinating. I'm literally 2 chapters in. So
Wow.
but it is so crazy to think about that we are kind of, again, right on that line, but we started experiencing social media in our like teens and our adolescence. But even think about that 5 years, if we were 5 years younger, be a massive part of our junior high, of our high school, the social media comparison. Like we didn't have that when we were in junior high.
No, that started when we were like juniors in high school at that point. And then,
So it's
I
very
do remember in 6th grade, some kids had phones, but not iPhones, obviously. They had like just regular phones. And that changed the game. Like if one of your friends had a phone, they could call like the guys in your grade and you can
so fun.
That changes everything because you're no longer just playing as, girls and outside. You're like, wait, let's call them. Now you're communicating like in a way that you've never communicated before. It's so crazy.
It is so crazy.
Wow.
And then he's kind of talking about how there's these days sometimes it feels like parents will feel trapped because they're like,
everyone else has a phone.
Yes. They're like, if you put in very stringent rules, like first of all, they'll find a way around them. And also it's like you're almost having your kids set up for social isolation because then it's like they're the weird kid who can't have access to anything, but also you are protecting them. Like there was a story about a girl who was, I think, 14-ish. She's super addicted to her phone on social media all the time. And her parents ended up like taking it away or she went to a summer camp for like 6 weeks without her phone. They didn't send her away. Like I think that was something she did every summer or something. And you're not allowed to have your phone at the summer camp or something. And so they were saying when she came home, she was herself again. Like she was so fun and whatever, and then got her phone back and immediately was back to like irritable, grumpy, isolated, like all these things. So then I think they took it away or gave her a flip phone for 2 months. They said she was back to her normal self again. And basically they're like, we're trapped because we like put the software on her phone where she can't go on certain apps, but then she, when I was sleeping or something, she went into the mom's phone and deactivated it so she could still get on it. Like kids are going to find a way.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It's like literally just trying to protect you. So I don't know the solution yet. That maybe hopefully will come later in the book if there is one, but it was just crazy it's so interesting. I'm like, no, this making me more anxious. Perfect.
Yeah. They're like, if you really want to think about how anxious you could be, read this book.
But as a parent now, it also is more on the forefront of my mind. Like obviously for myself, I've been interested in this topic lately, reading Dopamine Nation and like thinking about addictions and just the technological world. It obviously fascinates me, but now having a daughter, I'm like, well, obviously I want to just go about this in the best possible way I can or protect her to the best of my abilities from addictions and things that can be super harmful to young kids and their child development. And also it does inspire me too to just have her, independently play, and she's still so young, but going outside all the time. Like it does inspire me more than it makes me anxious. Like, oh no, I'm like, I just need to live my life as much. I need to show her the example, and I want her to grow up going outside a lot and just, what else?
I feel like most of the parenting books, that's the takeaway. It's like just being less controlling and less inside. Basically go back to the basics. Like let them play outside, let them play independently, let them work through things themselves. And you can only do so much.
Yeah.
But you can set them up
all of
for
us
success.
need help. And I feel like I swear, this is talking about Gen Z and like our generation-ish and younger than us, but I'm like, I swear these boomers are starting to get more addicted. They are getting more addicted every day to their phones and their screens. And they are not innocent in this.
No.
At all. Like, I think that it's so often the conversation is the teenagers these days and like, oh no, and which again, very important to talk about because it is such a part of their development and like we should keep talking about that. We should also talk about how boomers are so addicted to Facebook, to the news, to all of it, and on their screens too. It's like, okay, let's not be so, casting stones.
For sure.
Anyway, that was my tangent. I didn't know I was going to go down.
No, love it. Speaking of books, I have been reading The Artist's Way still, working my way through it at night, page by page before I fall asleep. But I have started the morning pages. It took a couple days, but the first day I did it, I was like, okay, this better change my entire day because it took a while. 3 pages is a long time. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that actually is a lot. That's a long time.
But the first day,
didn't notice a change.
I was also on my period. It was like the second day of my period. I'm like, I am feeling grumpier than ever before. So I'm not quite sure what that did for me. But I think with time, I'll notice a big difference of, that's kind of what it says in the book. Again, I'm not super far, but you have to really work through the fog at first of like the doubtfulness and the resistance to it. And then you'll get to the creativeness. But it has been making me feel just so inspired to create and to be myself again. That is just a theme of my life recently, just like being in my own power and just being myself and being confident in my decisions. Like it talks a lot about just no matter what the outside thinks of you, like, or of your art. Like, oh, are people going to love it? Just doing weird things just to be weird, but not like, oh, because people are going to think this is so cool and different. It's like, just do it. Just start out and you're going to suck at painting at first, or you're going to suck at these things, but just do it. Not for the, the
image
recognition or thinking, is this good or not? Like simply doing it because it's being creative and you're creating something and it's good for you to work that muscle. And how a lot of our art, like inner artists, are dormant and like little children. Like we have to take care of it. We have to train it like a child. Like we have to, okay, let's start painting or whatever we want to do that we feel drawn to, which is very inspiring. So catch you
painting,
trying something new. Yeah, catch me. I was
really
with you.
Oh yeah.
You were there.
I'm like, wow, I guess.
You saw it, but that was paint by numbers, so.
Yes. That's so relaxing, though. It's so therapeutic. I've honestly never painted, really. Like, that's never been something that I did for fun. But even just, doing the little paint by numbers thing is, like, so therapeutic. I really want to read Artist's Way once I'm done with this one.
Yeah.
But I'm in my reading.
Same.
I'm on the grind right now. Like I'm on the train, which
Love Island is taking my nighttime reading block of time. Because I only have like a good hour or two before it's time for night.
Yeah.
For me, after the boys go to bed, and Love Island does take up a good amount of that time. So I haven't been I have this book that I'm still trying to finish that I was talking about. I haven't read it in a while because I've just been watching Love Island. These Islanders trying to do their thing.
You just gotta give up. When I was trying not to bring up Love Island. No, the book.
Oh.
Because if it's dragging on for like a month, I'm like, I gotta give it up.
I really want to read it, but I know I'm getting to the end. So I'm like, I feel like I need to be locked in.
Yeah.
And I don't want to start reading the end until I know I have time. I don't want to stay up till like 2 a.m. finishing,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Especially when it's like they're about to solve everything.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe you should finish because it's like a crime.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever updated you guys that I just could not do Tom Lake. Like,
Me neither.
I tried to read it and then I did the unthinkable. I also downloaded it on Audible because I was like, okay, everyone
was saying that.
Everyone was like, you have to, Meryl Streep narrates it. So like you have to do it on the audiobook. You have to listen to it. That's how you'll like it. And I'm like, okay, I will do that because also in my mind, like I really do hate to leave a book unfinished. Like it is
It's so unsatisfying.
It's very unsatisfying for my brain. And even on my Kindle or on my app, like if it's like 80% read, I'm like, oh, this is killing me. Like I either have to mark it as read or just get it out of my brain. So I was like, okay, I'm going to download it and listen to it because that's what everyone's saying is going to do it for me. Pulling teeth for me to even listen to it. I was like, I cannot keep, like, I do not care about this book whatsoever. I kind of wanted to know what happened anyway, but I was like, I don't care enough to read. I think I was like 60%. I'm like, I still
Really?
have hours left. Like maybe I was further. I don't remember.
Oh,
but I'm
I only
like,
got to like 30%.
I was like, I cannot
couldn't
do this.
it.
I mean, on Audible, like I got to maybe 30% reading,
Yeah.
and then I got another 30% listening, and I'm just like, if I am this uninterested still, I'm literally listening on 2x speed. I can barely hear her. She's like, I'm like, just to finish it. Like this has gone too far. So
Yeah.
I did look up spoilers. So I knew, because I was like, well, I do want to know what happens, but I'm not going to sit here for 4 hours and,
Yeah.
you know. Also, I think I am way more ruthless with my time recently, to where it's like, if this is not satisfying me, like there are 1,000 books.
There are only 1,000.
There are only 1,000 books out there. There are millions of books and pieces of content I could be listening to or reading that actually are fascinating to me. What am I doing?
Yeah. 100%.
I think sometimes it is good to give it a shot. I gave it 2 fair shots, ladies. I'm done. So I did not really enjoy that book. I don't know if it was the writing or that it was just slow. Like it felt like nothing really was happening through a lot of it. So it was a sweet, it was like a sweet read, but I just wasn't really into it. So I did give up on that one a while ago, and I meant to update you guys.
You started the women though, didn't you?
Yes, I started the women, but I'm not super far. I
Okay.
just started it at night.
So good.
So I'm excited to read it though. It's
of my
already
favorite
got me
books.
hooked.
Yeah.
I love it. So
That's the
Stay
thing
tuned for
about
those.
Kristen Hanna. She just gets you quick.
yeah,
Within the first chapter, I'm hooked.
she hooks you immediately. The characters are so good. The
So
descriptions,
good. I'm like wanting to meet the characters.
the setting, or like where it's all set.
With
is
Tom
always the
Lake, I'm
best.
like, I don't give a rip about these people.
I don't give a rip, and also I don't know who they are for the
There's
first.
so many
There's
names.
so many names.
Yeah.
I was like, I literally can't keep
I need
up.
more.
I need more.
Like, I need more info about them.
Oh yeah.
Just like, this is her name and this is one fact about them, but
No, it was
and a million characters.
It was too much. I'm glad I feel validated in that.
Oh yeah. I only gave it one shot. I'm like, I can't.
Because I saw a lot of comments that people loved it. So that was
Interesting.
a losing one for me. But I wanted to quickly say, did you see that Sophia Richie's in her Bob era?
Yeah.
Bob Girl Summer.
Bob Girl Summer. That means I'm on my way out.
Really? Enneagram 4 has spoken. She's like, too many people got the Bob.
Enneagram 4 in me is left the chat. No, I'm keeping the Bob. What else am I going to do? Grow out my hair?
No, it is
It's not a possibility.
It is. So I've had mixed feelings lately, because as much as I love it and it's so much easier, I have been getting into the same routine where I don't do it. So like this has been my thought process lately. I'm like, okay, so it's not a hair problem, it's a me problem. Like I just don't do my hair every day. Which again, I think it's way easier to do when you have short hair. Like it looks better, but I was getting a little bit bored recently with like the lack of hairstyles I could do, I felt like. But that's why I just I was on Pinterest I was saving some different short hair inspo, and I'm like, I just need to be more creative with, like I have to be. I cannot just have my hair looking the same every single day. It just does not work for me. Like especially if it starts growing at all. I'm like, no. I need a fresh chop and fresh color. That's way too, it's so high maintenance. So I'm like, I need to do my hair. Like I need to take 10 minutes a day. This is just personally how I feel. I don't even have to put it half up or something. I'm just saying like, I need to put clips in or a headband or do a half up thing, or just curl it a little, curl the ends out a little bit, or put some wave spray in. Like when I just do absolutely nothing day after day, I'm like, it's unfortunately giving slob when I did my messy bun every day. Like it's feeling the same, where I'm just like, oh, I'm feeling like slobby and not put together because I'm not doing my hair again.
Yeah.
I've gotten into this rabbit hole.
Yeah, I get that. I understand that. I do the same thing with my hair every single day. I actually feel the opposite sometimes though. When I try and do my hair, I'm like walking around. It's like I have an outfit on that I hate. I'm like, hate,
Really?
want to take my hair out immediately. But
So I
I put
always
it
think
back.
your hair
and
looks so
stuff.
cute when you do like half up and stuff.
I know. It's just a me thing. I feel like I've always been like that. Since I was little, my mom would always try and put my hair up. And when I came home from school, straight middle part, just literally slicked down.
Really? Just
I'm like,
wanted
this
to
is when I feel the best. It's not even that I think it's the cutest. It's just, I don't know, maybe it's a sensory thing. If I have a claw clip, hate.
Really?
Hate a claw clip. It feels so just like, I hate.
I know what you mean though, because that's how I feel with outfits. Like, no. Certain outfits, I'm like, 1 hour is my maximum. And I'm like, I do not feel pretty.
Yeah.
I don't feel cute. And I am a fake. I don't feel like myself.
And if you, with the hairstyle, heaven forbid the outfit or the hairstyle is uncomfortable at all. Like when my hair is, I put a little product in it and I can feel it on the ends of my face. I feel the product. Oh, like a styling cream or something.
Yeah. You just don't like the feeling of it.
I feel like it's breaking me out.
I do think it's a sensory thing though.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that with the outfit thing. It's kind of a sensory thing where I'm like, I don't feel comfortable.
Or it's like tugging my hair. Like when I wear my hair like that, it's kind of tugging my hair a little bit and I just
you just like notice it.
Or if I have my bangs like this, like I love that look, like kind of how you have it right now. But I'm always like
tucking. I kind of do the same. But this is unfortunately what I've been realizing lately. As I've been on the journey to finding my personal style, my personal style is heinous. No, my personal style is so
the way you got ready to deliver that.
So casual. Like to the point though where I'm like, I don't know. I've been trying to figure out lately if it's just like a
this is making
thing.
Sense. Do they care? Probably not. But this is making sense because I feel like when I have a cute outfit on and I have accessories and then I do my hair, it almost feels like I'm doing too much. I'm like, I'd rather the outfit speak for itself. When I have the hair and the outfit, sometimes I'm like, this is giving way too much.
I get what you mean.
I feel like it's giving try hard. So if your style is more casual, then it feels like
then I feel sloppy.
If your hair's down, then you're not doing enough. We cracked it.
You know, you literally are Shakespeare and Einstein mixed. Like you have just solved my life's mystery.
Blind. I should be an engineer.
That is honestly it because it feels like lately, but this is the thing that I'm trying to figure out. Like I just feel the most comfortable and like myself when I am very casual. And it's like a pretty just t-shirt jeans, like tank and jeans, tank and comfy flowy pants.
Yeah.
Like I don't like, but then I'm like, am I just, because I've been trying to elevate a little more lately. I'm like, well, I don't want to feel like literally I'm dressing like a teenager every day, like baggy pants every day. But I cannot, like when I switch it up, I'm like, am I just out of my comfort zone and I'm not used to it yet? Or am I literally being fake? Like, do I just need to stick to what I'm comfy in, which is very casual? Yeah, I need to stop talking about this because no one cares.
I think it's so fascinating.
Oh, well,
like
then
I actually was going to ask you about it, how it's going, like the style evolution or what you're finding.
Yeah, I'm finding that exact thing that I just mentioned.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, this is what I was going to say that no one cares about. When we went to that Teza event and I was wearing that dress with like a neck scarf, I liked my outfit.
Yeah.
And I felt cute.
It was so cute.
And that was dressy. So I'm like, what is the common, like that was a dressy outfit. And I did feel cute. And I wasn't like,
but it's simple. It was simple.
Maybe
elevated.
Maybe it is the simple thing. I'm finding, do you know what I'm finding is that I hate most silhouettes on me. Like I don't like how, I feel like I will try on 1,000 things. No, I truly like, I feel like I will try on like 10 different outfits and I'm just like, I don't like how any of these fit unless it is the classic thing I just said. Unless it is like kind of baggy slouchy pants with like a certain type of cut t-shirt top. Like I'm like, or sweater or tank or something, but it has to be a very specific cut. And it's like, I know the cut. And if I literally veer away from it at all, I'm like, I do not, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's sometimes just
but
like
you're getting closer.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's a good feeling.
I just like feeling comfy.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was feeling validated. I was listening to one of Lucy's like Patreon episodes. She was talking about style and she was saying how she doesn't wear jeans because she doesn't like the sensory thing. She's like, I do not wear jeans. I don't like the way they feel. She just wears, you know, whatever, different stuff that doesn't make her feel restricted. And she was talking about how she has like sensory stuff where she's just like, I have to dress a certain way because otherwise I want to rip I don't feel comfortable. And then when I get home, I'm like, I need to rip this clothing off me because I feel so just out of sorts. And I'm like, I can relate so much to that. Like when I have a certain outfit on, and I did it the other day. I did it when you were at my house recently. Right. I was like wearing an outfit and I'm like, I can't be wearing this anymore. Like I had to go in my room. I had worn it for 1 hour and I was like, I hate this outfit. So I changed immediately. And what did I change into? These jeans that I'm wearing and a white t-shirt. Because I'm like, that is what I feel comfy in. So
I thought your second outfit was cute, like really cute on you. Maybe it's the confidence. I mean, your first outfit was cute, but I do feel like I'm
hate me.
so glad you got it. No. I'm saying like I knew, maybe it's because I knew you were more comfortable. I'm like, oh, that's so cute.
Yeah. Sometimes I just be trying too hard.
No, it was a cute outfit.
No, I know, but I just like I'm trying too hard to be dressier because I'm like, well, this event calls for dressier.
Yeah, I get
and
that.
then I'm just like, no,
you can't
it's not
bend to the event. Make the event bend to you.
Exactly. So I'm still on the journey. Thank you for asking, and I've got some insights, but
I'm very invested in the journey.
Thank you.
Should post about it more.
Really, that's a whole other element. I don't need people commenting on the what people.
Yeah, true.
They're like, this looks ugly. No, I did make that mistake once. I was like,
true.
which dress? They're like, could you pick a different color altogether? I'm like, no, bitch, because this is the color I was assigned by the bride.
Yes.
It was when I was doing the bridesmaids dresses. And everyone's like, I'm not going to lie, this isn't your color. I'm like, this is the last time I come for advice on the internet
true.
when I'm already
Maybe just
feeling
send it to me more.
insecure as a postpartum mama. Thank you so much for your feedback.
Thank you for building me up.
Yeah. No, I agree. I could stand to post about it more, but
Or just tell me.
yeah. I mean, I literally text you all the time with
True.
what shoes should I wear? Whatever.
Yeah.
What should I pair this with?
Maybe send me more inspo too.
Okay.
Then you can have all of us helping
Who's all of us?
who like to do that. I'm like, Lucy. You're saying Lucy was helping you too.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely. I have so many style mentors is the thing. I have so many people around me with great style. And I fully believe, Lucy was saying too, she's like, I cannot decorate my house. Or she said something, I don't want to put those words in her mouth. She's like, never said that. I think she said something similar.
She does a terrible job.
No, she was mentioning about interior design and home decor stuff. And we were kind of talking about how everyone has like an area that they are just more, maybe they're naturally it comes more naturally to them to like design certain things. And I'm like, honestly, that is good to focus on because sometimes I just don't think I have the natural eye with fashion, but I have it with other things. Yeah. Like I have that creative eye in other ways, but not with always putting together outfits, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't mean to talk about this like I have like the worst style because I don't think I do. I think I have like good personal style. I just think it is very like it always just feels so simple that I'm like, can I even call this style if it's literally jeans and an oversized t-shirt every day? You know what I mean? Okay, I will
I
claim
think what
that.
it is too, what's helpful the most is not people telling you what you should like or what you should buy or what would look good, what they think would look good, is having someone notice what you tend to like. Because even with interior design, if I were to be like, this is my inspo, this is what I love, this is what I'm drawn to, this is what my house looks like now, I don't think I would necessarily want someone to just be like, oh, buy this, add this, whatever, but like explain what I tend to. Yes, like, oh, you tend to like these tones. You tend to go for this style. You are drawn to this and this. And I feel like even with style, like your personal style, that helps for someone to tell you, oh, like notice that this is what silhouette you tend to be drawn to
towards. Well, and body shape what you wear is all the huge thing. Like body, the way your body fits in clothes, and like transparently. Also, I haven't been super thrilled with how my clothes have been fitting for the past year because. And
you're working with an old closet of I'm like pre-mom, pre-pregnancy. Like you're a whole different person in so many different ways that's a very common thing postpartum. Yeah. I feel the same way too.
I feel like everyone has a little bit of a style crisis where it's like, do I just need a full new wardrobe at this point? Or like, how can I even rewear stuff if, no, definitely.
Especially after your first kid because you
never been through it before.
Yeah. I feel like after I had Elwood, it was a little less shocking because I had post-pregnancy clothes from after Kate. Like I was still, it was similar.
You also have something to like point back to. Yeah.
Yes. And I feel like when you become a mom, you just naturally, your style just naturally changes. I don't know why. Something clicks in your brain where you're just like, I don't like that anymore. Not necessarily in a certain way.
That's the old me.
Yeah. You
it's
just
true.
Feel new. You're just like, I don't believe in that anymore.
I get that. Should we get into these advice questions that you guys have been asking us and dying to know?
Let's.
This episode of What We Said is brought to you by Huggies Little Movers. As a parent, I feel like there is a moment where you're just like, oh, wow, okay, my baby moves a lot now. They are on the freaking move. It's sometimes seemingly sometimes as if I have multiple kids. But it felt like for us with Benny, it was kind of overnight. We're just like, wait, she is like moving all the time. We have to be like eyes on her 24/7. And it's such a fun but chaotic time. Huggies Little Movers has up to a 100% leak-proof fit available with double grip strips or a new Hug Fit 360 waistband. Huggies Little Movers are designed to help keep your baby comfortable and protected no matter how they move. Huggies Little Movers is the only brand with double grip strips and is designed for worry-free running, jumping, and playing. This is so nice to feel like your baby's diaper is secure, and no matter if they're crawling, walking, jumping, whatever they're doing, you can feel rest assured that their diaper is going to stay on, and also just keep them comfortable, that they're going to be comfy moving around.
The new Huggies Little Movers Hug Fit 360 slip-on diaper has double the stretch of Little Movers open diapers and an extra secure fit. I love these diapers because, again, when your kid is standing, moving around, putting a diaper on them, making them lay down to put on a diaper can be such a pain in the butt. So putting it on is easier. Them moving around, it's just all around easier. They have easy tear sides for fast and easy changes. Having a baby that loves to move and do what I do is very fun, but it also can be very challenging to find a diaper that keeps up with them through the day's activities. So Huggies Little Movers helps keep your mini-me protected with double grip strips and Hug Fit 360 waistband. Huggies Little Movers made with double grip strips or with the new Hug Fit 360 waistband so your mini-me can keep moving like you. Huggies, we got you, baby. Hey, queens. So I come from a big family. I literally have 6 siblings, and I grew up in a mostly happy household. I am close with my siblings now and have a pretty good relationship with my dad. But my mom is a different story. Growing up, she made a lot of comments about my body and looks, would talk about her own body negatively in front of me, and just in general was a main source of body negativity that I still carry with me today. I make a lot of excuses for her. I know she grew up during a time when women's bodies were openly criticized, LOL still are, and I know her mom did the same to her, but because of this, I struggled with a pretty severe eating disorder as a young teen. Okay, now for the advice portion. I recently gave birth to my beautiful baby girl. Best, most happy time of my life, but whenever my mom comes to visit, she continues to nitpick my looks. And has even made comments about my literal newborn daughter. For example, saying, wow, her forehead is massive, or her eyes are too tiny. Huh? No. I know these might not seem like a big deal, but as someone who knows how much those kinds of comments hurt, I do not want my daughter to grow up hearing them or having to experience what I did in any way. I have, since becoming an adult, always corrected her. I have, in parentheses, since becoming an adult, always corrected her when she makes those comments and have unintentionally caused big fights when she made the comments about my daughter. She immediately writes me off saying that it is her job as my mother or that I'm being dramatic. Her job?
Her job. To nitpick your daughter's eyes. Okay.
I don't know what to do. I feel like I have set firm boundaries, but the results are not positive. It would be extremely difficult to go no contact, as I know that would cut ties with a lot of my family. Should I just ignore her and pray that she eventually does better? Threaten her to not be able to see my daughter if she continues to make those comments? Sincerely, a struggling Valley girl. P.S. I am simply addicted to you both, and you have kept me sane post-baby.
Oh.
Aw.
Being postpartum is already hard enough. Like, truly, I can't with the constant nitpicking of just any of it. It's so exhausting.
No.
Oh, I have so many thoughts. Where to begin?
I know. It's so hard because, well, first of all, you said that you've already brought this up to her. So that would obviously be the first, piece of advice is to say something. Bring it up, especially right when she says it. Negate it. Be like, not okay. I don't appreciate you saying that. Actually, not only do I not appreciate it, you're not allowed to say that.
Yeah.
Your free speech has been revoked. But it's hard if it's just a fight every time because what can you do?
I feel like, okay, this is maybe the obvious take, but I feel like you have to focus on what you can control in this situation, which is how you are raising your daughter and how you are going to speak about all of these things around her and how you are going to speak about your own body when you're in her presence, about her body, about anything like that. Like, you are going to be the biggest influence.
Yeah.
Much bigger than your mom will ever, than her grandma, in this case, will ever be, I think. Did she say how often they see each other? Did she mention that they get together a lot?
Whenever my mom comes to visit.
Because I feel like we can only control so much. Like, our kids are going to have outside sources. They're going to have teachers or coaches or people who say things that you wouldn't say, or that you're like, okay, I don't really like that they're putting that in my kid's head. But the most important thing and the only thing you really can control is what you say and the example you set for them. And so while I think like 100% you have the right to be like, Mom, please don't make those comments. Like that really hurts me. This is how I feel about that. I do not want you saying that to her. Like that's a firm thing in my house. Yeah. Please don't. If she's going to like blow up and have these fights, I don't think, unless it is so toxic, I don't think you necessarily have to go no contact. You just have to, again, control what you can and be like, okay, my mom's probably going to make some of these comments that are obnoxious to me, or that I feel like, again, it depends how toxic. If the comments are so outrageous, it's like, okay, you're not seeing her anymore.
Yeah.
I could understand that. I think that's valid. But I think if she's just making these one-off little comments that you're like, okay, I don't love that, it's something that you can teach your daughter as she grows up. Like, oh yeah, you can even be like, I don't like when she makes those comments because this and this. And you can just be communicative about that. And I don't think there's necessarily like a clear-cut solution.
Yeah, I think my first thought, again, I don't have a daughter, so, but I think it is a little more point of focus when you do have a daughter, because you're so hyper aware, because you are a girl, you grew up and experienced people saying things to you. So coming from my own experience, I feel as though maybe a good way to go about it would be, when she says something to your daughter or in front of your daughter, is like model how you would want her to respond to someone saying that to her. Like, if that makes sense.
Model how your daughter would respond?
Like how you would want your daughter to respond to something like that, versus you could, okay, so say she says her eyes are too tiny. Like, that is, first of all, the craziest thing ever.
A newborn, by the way.
Yeah, a newborn. I don't know how. I'm trying to think of like a good thing to say. Either nonchalantly just blow it off and like show her. I feel like with kids, especially little kids, before you can like sit down and explain, especially as become toddlers, when they become kids and they really can process things, but when they're toddlers, they kind of take things in, but you can't sit down and have an hour-long conversation. They're going to be like, okay, I'm thinking about something else now. I've heard that with like please and thank you. Like if you are saying thank you to people, that's more likely to teach your kids to say thank you to people than if you're like, you need to say thank you.
Constantly telling them,
Yeah. So I feel like maybe that's why I was thinking, if they say something to her, like, wow, you've got something eyes, or they say something to you, however you want her to respond to people saying stuff about her looks, that's how you should respond to her. Whether that is drawing a boundary and just like saying something, turning it positive. Like, I know they're so beautiful, or something like that. That's up to you, but that's my first thought. I don't have a specific
honestly,
example.
Kind of like passive aggressive in a way, but kind of gets the job done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And maybe even kind of hinting to your daughter that it's not it's not
a
bad
thing
to have tiny eyes. That's the craziest thing ever. Like, just
everyone has different.
Yeah, everyone has different size eyes. Look, mine are huge.
Yeah.
Like, and that, just move on.
Yeah, exactly.
Because sometimes if you get too
focused on it,
and if they hear you say something, like, I'm just thinking, if I was little, and let's just say somebody, one of the older relatives in my life, were to say something about like the size of my nose, and if I heard my parents I don't even really remember, like if I heard them say, oh, don't say that to her, like we don't want her to know that her nose is big or something.
Yeah.
Like I'd catch on. I'd be like, oh, so this is horrible.
So it is a bad thing.
Yeah. Instead of just like, yep, she's got her dad's nose, isn't it cute, or something.
Make it a little more casual and nonchalant. Yeah. That is a good.
Then it allows them to be a little more resilient.
I think more so also when I was saying earlier, like if you are saying to your mom, do not say that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say you would say that in front of your daughter, by the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Like in private. But there are a lot of different ways you can go about that. But truly, I do feel like, to give you a little bit of peace of mind, you're doing a great job already, because you're already thinking about these things and you're caring about them, and like you want to raise a confident girl who isn't affected by all these different things. And the only way to do that is be an example. Like, that's what I keep thinking about raising Benny. I'm like, the best thing I can do is just get right with myself. Like
Yeah.
I can't control anyone else. I can't control the things she's going to hear when she goes out to school or into the world in any capacity. So the best thing for me to do is just try really hard to not talk about my body or certain things. Like I'm already trying to implement it, even though she's
like neutrality.
Yes. So we'll see. It's a journey.
But I also do think it's okay. Sometimes I really just want my kids to have no struggles, nothing ever to worry about. Perfect. Everyone loves and accepts them. No one ever says anything mean to them.
Yeah.
But it's like you're saying. I feel like you have to understand that your kids will have
certain things that people make fun of them for or whatever.
And it's going to make them a better person. They're going to have to learn how to deal with things like that. So,
and here's the good news. You can take the things that you're made fun of, whatever, fix it later in life. This is what I said. You can get character and grit from being made fun of. Not that I think your daughter's going to get made fun of all the time, but if you do have something that people pick on you for, whatever, I really believe that can give you so much character and grit, because you have to stand up for yourself or just be like, oh, well, whatever. You kind of learn how to take criticism in a way. And then when you get older, you can get hot, and then you have the good personality and you're hot.
Win-win. Exactly.
Okay. Hi, girls. I'll jump right into it. I've been experiencing crazy health anxiety lately. Every ache and pain is clearly something fatal. Every cough, every headache, every heart palpitation, every freckle. LOL, you get the vibes. I also have been having very intrusive thoughts about terrible things happening to my loved ones. I recently lost my brother to a very traumatic car accident 2 months ago. I definitely think that is what is triggering a lot of this. But even acknowledging that and knowing that's what is creating a lot of this anxiety for me does not help to stop the anxiety or intrusive thoughts from happening. I'm currently on a very low dose of anxiety medication already. I have a doctor's appointment scheduled to talk about getting that increased, maybe starting therapy, but in the meantime, I'm just at a loss for what to do to make my brain be quiet. I also just got married and obviously have kids in the back of my mind. The thought of 1, being pregnant eventually with this massive health anxiety, and 2, having a baby while having these horrible intrusive thoughts, I fear I would never sleep or take my eyes off him or her. I just know these 2 things will increase the anxiety thoughts tenfold. I guess I'm just curious if you guys have ever dealt with anything similar, and if so, how do you function and work through it? I love you both so much. I cannot tell you how much this pod helps me turn off my brain and just giggle along every Tuesday. Thank you, cuties.
Aw.
I'm so sorry about your brother.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Health anxiety can be so exhausting.
Yeah.
It is literally so mentally draining to experience that. And I don't know, I guess I'll ask you, because we've both experienced health anxiety, I think.
Yeah.
And for you, has it gone in phases though? Or has it always been?
It definitely is brought on by triggers for sure. Like death of a loved one, something happening around you. Like that can definitely bring it on for me. At least that's what happens. Like I will.
If you hear about something bad happening, then you start to
which is
ruminate.
The number one reason I got off TikTok. Because I would be calling my mom, and can confirm, worse with children, like when you have kids, because I never really experienced it as bad as I have had it recently, like before I had kids. But I would be calling my mom like, oh my gosh, I'm freaking out about this. I just think it's this, like every little thing, every little sensation. And then also it's worse when you have anxiety, you become so much more aware of every ache, every pain, every little tingling feeling in your body, and it makes you go crazy. And it can make you, the other thing is with health is it's so hard because you want to be responsible and you want to like
get your
take things
checkups.
seriously.
Yeah.
And you want to go to checkups, but then it turns into seeking reassurance constantly. And I don't know, she didn't say necessarily she's at that point, but I have learned, first of all, that Dare book I've talked about has helped me with specifically my health anxiety and like just, it's a lack of control really is what it is like really grasping with that you have no control over what happens to you or the people that you love, and that you're not promised perfect health, perfect, everyone lives until they're 100 and it's just perfect and everything's great. Like you just don't have that control over life. Nobody does. And so I think when things like this, when you're getting triggered by certain events or death of a loved one or something like that, or news, it's just because it reminds you of that. And so it sometimes can be hard to process.
Like the possibility of things
and
happening.
how you would deal with that. The fear of that is just, so overwhelming. The other thing about anxiety and like obsessiveness about certain topics is it targets what you care about the most. So it makes sense. That's what my mom always tells me. Like, it just makes sense that you're so anxious about these things because you care about your family so much.
Yeah.
So like, of course, like that's what you're gonna be scared about. And like when you're feeling anxious, that's what you're gonna think about. So that Dare book helped me so much. It's still what I go to if I'm like having a bad episode or something. I will go to the diffuse, allow, whatever. You should read that book and do the workbook. It's called Dare: The New Way to End Anxiety and Stop Panic Attacks by Barry Donna. I don't know how to say his last name. Sorry. It's so good. It's just about accepting things and like it gives you a very clear way. It's diffuse, allow, run towards, and engage. So at first you just like diffuse it by being like, so what? So what if it is this? Who cares? Which is like, it's hard to say because if it's something so serious, you're like, well, I would care. But even just saying that to the thought helps diffuse it and just make it a little less scary. He also talks about how anxiety is kind of the fear of fear. It's the fear of that feeling. So once you start feeling anxious about something again, once you start feeling anxious about, like you sense the thoughts, the intrusive, obsessive thoughts about like, what if it's this? What if it's this? Your feelings are intensified because you're so scared of that spiral. So it's not necessarily the spiral you're scared of, or that's making you so anxious. It's the feelings you have surrounding the spiral, if that makes sense. Like, he explains it way better in the book.
Well, you're like, well, now I'm going down this rabbit hole, and you can almost feel like out of control. Because it's like, well, now I'm thinking about this.
And now I'm going to feel terrible. I'm going to be frozen. I was talking about this in a YouTube video recently. I was talking about how in the evening is when I will notice my energy levels are really low because I'm a morning person. So my energy's high in the morning. And then at like 5 p.m., I get like the sundown scaries, but not in a sleep postpartum way. In like I have lower energy, so it's almost harder for me to maintain a good mindset where it's like if something were to happen, I don't know, and the sunset of it all, I start to feel like almost existential dread, which can sometimes lead to health anxiety, and I'll just start spiraling, and I have to be busy. I have to just like, okay, I'm going to take this anxiety that I feel, that this ache or this pain or this thing I feel in my body is freaking me out, and I'm thinking worst case scenario, and I'm literally spiraling and I feel frozen. I need to go water my plants. Like I need to chop up some more cucumbers for dinner, even if we're done. Like just go do something that's like busy with my hands. That helps the most because then it gets my mind off of the worst thing you can do, which is what I tend to do. And it makes it worse.
Searching stuff?
Yes. Seeking reassurance for something you've already been told that is fine. Or like going back to the same thing over and over. If you have the same symptom and it's like, okay, but maybe it's not this time. Like maybe when you've already, especially if you've already been to the doctor about it, especially if you've already searched it or if you've already felt like resolved it, and you're constantly going back.
I feel like the Google searches, like that is one of the things that would make me continue to spiral the most. Like do not search stuff. Do not have because you can always, like, I would search something, be like, is this normal? Within reason, right? Obviously, there's certain things. It's like, oh, I want to know. But it would be like, yep, totally normal. And I would literally scroll to find the one situation in which it was not normal and be like, that's me. Oh, great. Like, it is so all-consuming. Yeah. And it's just, I feel like if I had one tip immediately is like, don't get on social media as much, especially when you're having these episodes, and do not start down the rabbit hole of searching. Oh, what if this happened? Blah, blah, blah. Another thing, I don't know if this is similar to that workbook, is the concept of finishing the thought, which also actually helps me a lot. And I don't know specifically with health anxiety if this would work as well. I think it would. I had health anxiety a lot when I was pregnant, but not as much. Like otherwise, I will have it here and there, little spouts of it, but nothing in comparison to what I experienced when I was pregnant. So what I wanted to say in that way is that she was like, I just know when I'm pregnant, this will be so much worse. You actually don't know that it will be so much worse. Maybe you'll be the opposite, where when you're pregnant, you won't have, I'm just saying, you don't know for sure until you're experiencing it. So anyway, because when I was having it, I thought, okay, this is my new life. Like, awesome. And then it was like really intense for probably a month or two. And then truly, I remember noticing one day that I just wasn't anxious about that anymore. And I was shocked. I was like, oh, I had new stuff to, I felt it with, I filled the time with different anxious thoughts probably, but it wasn't as intense and it didn't feel like it was taking over my life at all. I was like, oh, I'm fine. So that was comforting. Again, everyone's experiences are different, but the concept of finishing the thought is basically just when you do have a what if thought, going through the thought and not just leaving it. Because when you leave it at like, what if this mole on me is cancerous? And you are just spiraling in that thought because like, what if this happened? Oh, the worst case scenario, this could go wrong. And then what if they found more and da-da-da, and you're just going down this spiral. Instead, just taking that thought, okay, what if it was? Then what would happen? So first step is I would go to the doctor to get it looked at. That would be my first step. They would do a biopsy. They would then tell me what the result was. Well, in my experience, I've known a lot of people, I'm speaking personally, like I have known a lot of people who have gotten skin cancer cut out of them and it has never returned. It's been a one and done thing, and it's good that they got checked when they did and they got it out early, and that is probably the most likely scenario, even if it was that. And just going through and finishing the thought, I already, as I'm saying that, I'm like, oh, I feel more calm. And that's maybe a personal, I don't think everyone's the same. But to me, it actually feels good to play out exactly what could possibly happen and then be like, and in the end, it would probably be fine versus just spiraling. And you're never even finishing a thought. You're just going into, what if this, and then if that caused this and this, and you're just going crazy when if you really just think about the thought, it becomes a little more manageable.
Doable. Yeah, for sure. Manageable. That's for sure. It's so hard. Also, I want you to know that you are definitely not alone. There's a lot of people who struggle with this. And I do feel as though social media makes it way worse because you're seeing the worst thing that's ever happened to people. Like that's what they'll post about the most or like talk about, or that's what will pop up. And that's like the worst case scenario. And
I swear they know exactly your situation because you like interact with stuff. So when I was pregnant, it would be the exact amount of weeks I was. It'd be like 12-week-old baby. And I'd just be like, great. Like it always felt like it was targeting me exactly because that's obviously what I'm noticing because I'm in that situation. But it's like I would get on my Instagram Explore page and it would be all these like horrible things that happen to people when they're pregnant. And it's like, that is such a stressful energy to be surrounded by. So if you are struggling with health anxiety, to remove yourself from that so you don't constantly see triggers is so important.
Yes, for sure. I mean, this week I could go down a rabbit hole because this is like very, I've been thinking about it a lot.
Yeah.
Just health anxiety and anxiety and like ruminating on things. Wait, I wanted to read all four just so you have it before you read the book.
Yes,
it's
give
good.
It to us.
Okay, the first one is diffuse, acknowledge and accept the anxious thoughts and sensations without judgment. So that's what he describes in the book as like, okay, so what? Okay, you're kind of letting the thought in.
So what that I'm thinking this right now?
It's like, oh, what if this is cancer? Okay. So what? Like just saying that to it. It's kind of like, okay, so what? Who cares? He says like pick a phrase that you can just go to every time that just instantly diffuses the fear. It just diffuses the fear of it because again, that's what like makes your heart start beating fast is the fear of the feeling. And if you're just like, who cares? Even if you're like, well, I care if I had that, but that saying it in general just helps diffuse the thought. Accept the anxiety without resistance, allowing it to be present without trying to fight it. So that's what I was going to say about when I'm like going to water my plants or making my bed or doing anything to keep busy is I will literally say to myself, I'll be like, okay, so what? I'm going to go do this and the anxiety can come with me. This fear that whatever is just going to come with me. So let's go make my bed together. Like something like that. Run towards, instead of avoiding anxious situations, actively engage with them. So facing your fears head on.
That's kind of what I was just saying too.
Yeah.
Like engaging with the thought instead of being like, oh, whatever, and spiraling, just being like, okay, let's actually think about this logically for a second.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what he says too about, he gives you good phrases to kind of say in your mind to get through it. And then you get so good at it. You get so, okay, I'm going to do this. And it helps so much. And I also do think that like exposure therapy, if you are in therapy, works. Biggest tip of all, listen to Abby's podcast, Dear Abby, because she has OCD and she talks about like ruminating and tips and things for like intrusive thoughts and things like that all the time. So definitely listen to her podcast about this.
And it's so comforting too, if you do struggle with things with your mental health, to know that you are not crazy and alone, to be like, oh, okay, other people also do this, where they go down the spiral and they Google a million things and then they freak out and they're crying about something that doesn't even exist. To know that that has happened to people before and it will continue to happen already makes me feel a little bit better, because I realize that I'm not just this crazy person who, you know, I'm having a once in a lifetime experience that no one can relate to.
Yes, 100%. Facing your fears is obviously great, or even just running towards the thought. And he says, you can be like, okay, bring it on. I want more anxiety. Give me more anxiety. Give me more thoughts. Like, what else can go wrong? And sometimes that helps me too, genuinely. If I'm like
postpartum, literally, what else? What else can I Google?
No, come on. What else can, if you start thinking of all the things, sometimes you literally, the logical part of you steps in, is like, we can't do all that.
This is crazy. Yeah.
Like, I'll be like, what if this? Okay, well, what if this? What if this? What if I die in a car crash on the way here? Right. What if this? What if a bomb drops on my head right now? Like, I will literally start to name everything, and it's like, I'm tired.
Okay, this is crazy. Yeah,
it's like, okay, that was a little silly. Like, literally anything can happen, and that's just part of life. And then the last one is engage. So fully immerse yourself in the present moment, focusing on your surroundings and activities. That's what I was saying about like going and watering, or like doing something, doing the dishes, cleaning up something.
Getting distracted.
Yes. It's great to have kids. And this is when it happens, is when it's dinner time, is when everything's slow, because I'm so used to being busy all day that when we're eating dinner as a family, I'm like, quiet. This is getting a little eerie. It's a little too quiet. I'm like, I need something to do. Like, I want to be up and whatever. So anyways, I'm like, I leave the dinner table to go. But like, that's when it will start. And then after dinner, I'm like, okay, I got to go do this until Love Island's on. So anyways, it's great to be busy. That helps for sure. And definitely read that book, because it's very helpful. I'm sorry you're going through that. It is really hard when it's brought on by something, because then I always find I'm much more mentally strong in the moment of those things, but then before and after is when I'm mentally feeling the weakest.
Exactly.
Like, when I'm actually going through it, or I'm like actively processing something, at least I'm doing something in my mind. When before and after, the what ifs will drive you crazy, because you're like, well, I just experienced that was horrible. What if another thing? Like, and that's what really is tough.
And again, it's logical that your brain goes to this situation. Like, if something did trigger this, of course, like, it's like your mom was saying, like, of course you're going to be worried about the people that you love the most. If you are triggered by certain information or something happened to you, like, it makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
So don't beat yourself up. Like, give yourself grace. And even saying that to yourself, I feel like helps. It's like, okay, this makes sense. I'm having this thought, and let's dive in. Sorry,
last thing I'll say. I did see a video the other day, and he was mentioning something about anxiety and the spiral. I can't remember if it was specifically about health anxiety, but OCD is a lot about seeking reassurance too, and like wanting to figure things out and going back to the same thing over and over again, and trying to be like, okay, well, what about if I went at it from this angle? Can I figure it out? Will it feel good?
And me with gossip.
What?
Me with gossip.
Literally. Me with the neighbor's drama. No. He was saying, again, this was just some random person's take, but I do think that it helps a lot, is stop seeking reassurance. Like, the main way to work through these episodes or these anxieties is to stop seeking reassurance and sitting with the uncomfortability and just letting yourself feel it. That's kind of what these steps are too, that he talks about, but that's the main thing, is you think you'll feel better when you're being reassured a million times, whether it's going to your loved ones, being like,
well, there's just something new that will take its place.
Exactly.
Like, even if you are momentarily relieved, like, there's something else that you'll become anxious about in 2 weeks.
Exactly. So the reassurance never, ever, 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 ever works. It will give you momentary relief, but it will not fix it long term. Yeah. And that's when you just have to work through sitting with the uncomfortability and the unknown and your lack of control, and just like letting yourself go through it, because that's the only way out, unfortunately.
Truly. Okay, I know we've literally been talking about this for 30 minutes, and I apologize, but I will lastly say, I feel like having like a comfort show, or maybe this is bad advice, like, I don't know.
Well, try ChatGPT.
No, literally. But I think having like a comfort show or book or something that you're just like, oh, I feel like cozy and comfy right now when I do this. I'm not saying to always turn to that, like, okay, now I must watch this show. But like, to me, that really does help me relax and like kind of just forget about what I'm doing. Like turning on a show in the background and like you said, doing something with your hands. Like to me, it just gives a little bit of like, it doesn't, I don't feel as in my head. It's like, okay, I'm kind of distracted. Like I feel like in those moments, sometimes that helps me.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's bad advice mental health wise, but because it is kind of distracting yourself, but sometimes that's feels nice to just kind of chill for a
second. You
sec.
need to get through for a little bit.
Yeah.
I know. You know, we don't gatekeep on this podcast. So we have to tell you guys about Venmo. And I know you already know about Venmo, but did you know Venmo has a debit card? The debit card connects directly to your Venmo balance so that you can Venmo everything. It's this cute card. You can customize it to your favorite color, to your vibe, to your aesthetic. So with this debit card, you can pay for food, drinks, rides, the clothes on your back, groceries, gym membership, everything. It's so convenient because you can just spend the money that's already in your Venmo balance. So getting paid back for dinner can turn into paying for coffee, yoga classes, new shoes, whatever you want. So you don't have to do the stupid little game of like transferring to your bank and then you have to pay someone else. You keep it in your balance. It gets a little confusing and honestly just waste your time sometimes. So this is a game changer.
If you are the girl who's always picking up the bill, this is a great hack. You can settle up and have everyone Venmo you before you pay the bill so that your balance is ready to cover the total. And then you just swipe your Venmo debit card. Boom, it's taken care of. This is actually so nice because the card actually Venmos you back. So it's similar to a credit card, but it's not a credit card, which is nice. When you pay with your Venmo debit card, you can earn up to 15% cash back at some of your favorite places. You have to check it out. Sign up today to Venmo everything with the Venmo debit card. Visit venmo.com/debit to learn more. Venmo cashback terms at venmo.me/rewards. Offers are available for a limited time at select merchants. Max cash applies and varies. Venmo purchase restrictions apply. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. pursuant to license by MasterCard International Incorporated. Card may be used everywhere. MasterCard is accepted.
I do feel as though you're valid in saying like, well, I already know that's my trigger and that's what's triggering this up, but it's not helping. Because sometimes you're like, well, if you figure out where it's coming from, then it helps. And I totally relate to that as well. Like I would know.
You're like I know
I'm
exactly
feeling this
why.
way because of this. I know that, but it doesn't mean that it's going to go away. I don't know what to do about it. Like
Totally.
I really, and with health anxiety, it's so hard because you're just like, what do I do? What's responsible? Do I go to the doctors? My mom would always tell me like when I would call her for reassurance, she would be like, okay, make a plan. Whether it's like make the appointment or have like okay, I'm going to wait a week. If this symptom is worse or whatever, in a week's time, I'm going to put it on my calendar. I can check back with this symptom. Obviously, if it becomes life-threatening and you're very unwell, then go get it checked out. But if it's like a little ache or a little something you feel or whatever, put it in your calendar to either make an appointment in a week, recheck in a week, make a plan, and then just move on. Because when it's health anxiety, part of you is like, well, I want to be responsible. Like, I can't just ignore this. What if it's something serious?
Right.
And you cannot trust yourself. You're just like, am I being crazy? Is this real? But you have to learn to trust yourself. That's why reassurance is so bad, because you just learn to never trust yourself. You're always asking somebody else. Whether it's a doctor, whether it's someone else, you're always going and like, okay, well, maybe this doctor didn't know. I would like make several appointments with like, well, they didn't give me the exact answer I wanted. So like, let me go somewhere else. And that's never good either. So truly,
That
it's
makes
just
sense.
sitting with the uncomfortability of the unknown of life and doing the best. Then you start to trust yourself and you can be like, okay, this is something I need to go get checked out or something I need to mention at the next appointment, whatever it is.
That makes sense for sure.
Buckle up, ladies. I need advice on something that will quite literally affect me for the rest of my life. I'm pregnant with my first baby and we're finding out the gender in a few weeks. Obviously, we've been thinking about names as one does. Oh,
Baby names.
Early on in our relationship, he said, okay, I'm assuming that means her partner. He said that if he had a son, he would want to pass down his name.
What's the name?
In fact, this is a tradition that runs on both sides of his family. I'm taking all of the uncles, cousins, any male in his family is named after any male in his family is named after each other. Personally, I've never been a huge fan of the tradition, and while I truly love my husband, I don't want my son's name to be the same name as his. I'll tell you his name because I want to give full context, but bleep it out or I'll be exposed, LOL. No offense, but doesn't vibe with any of the names I would pick. I wouldn't even want to call the baby by his middle name because it's not my cup of tea.
Hold on. So it has to be the first, middle, and last?
I think that's probably why she gave that.
No, I don't like this tradition at all.
Like, he'll already have the last name to carry on. Isn't that enough?
That's literally stripping away every ounce of autonomy. It's like your first, middle, and last name all has to be the exact same as the person prior to you. No.
I feel like we're both so passionate about our stance on how we feel about this, and I just don't know what to do. He's been dreaming about it since he was younger, since he was named after his father as well. Am I being insensitive for not wanting to continue a generational tradition throughout his entire family? Praying we have a girl and don't even have to worry about this, LOL. Thanks and love you both. I got my sisters hooked to the pod and they'll know exactly who this is from.
Oh, I love that. This ends now, mama. Like, the tradition has left the chat. I'm sorry. I mean,
but it's hard if he is so, you can't just be like, sorry.
But you can a little bit because I truly believe that both parents deserve a say in the name, but the woman does deserve more. I
a little more.
That. I fully believe that. I'm sorry. You are carrying the baby for 9 months and giving birth. You have a little bit more say than him. Yeah. I think he definitely still has some. But to me, that is, like I said, stripping away also an experience of like, I want to name my kid.
Yeah.
Why do I? And also, I am not a part of your family. That's the hard part. It's like,
yeah, we already got the last name, mama.
Yeah, we got the last name. She could even do one of the first or middle as the middle name if she wants.
For sure.
But like, seriously, you're telling me first, middle, and last is already decided for me when it's my kid that I'm giving birth to. And I have my own list of baby names that I've had in my notes app since I was 17. Me? Like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, you can compromise if you do care about his feelings and you don't want him to be like so devastated and you just go with a completely new name. You can compromise in whatever way you feel comfortable. Because I do agree with you. It's like, okay, well.
So does my life not matter either?
I'm pushing this out of my body. This took you not very long to create, and it took me 9 months. So I think I get a little bit more of a stake in the company.
I think so too.
But I do understand like wanting to obviously take your husband's feelings into consideration when it means so much to him. It's like, well, I won, so I get to do it. I think you could make a compromise. Okay, this is one idea. Just throwing this out there. You could put that name on the birth certificate. But
call him a completely different name and never reference that ever again in his life.
Literally. You could call... I know a lot of people who their first name, my brother, for instance... I didn't know his real first name till I was probably 15 years old because we call him by his middle name.
Yeah.
And you can call him something completely different. You could name him that and then just make up a cute little nickname for him that you like. It could have nothing to do with it, but it's like you just call them like Nick's family calls his oldest sister Sis all the time. Mm-hmm. That's not like they'll still call her first name.
Yeah.
But like in their phones, it's just say, hey sis, like that's
like her name. Yeah.
So if they're like, wait, you don't call him this, they'll probably call him that name. But
there's an idea. I mean, because then it's there. It's
on the birth certificate, but you call him. But then I guess your husband probably would want to call him.
Yeah.
But you can be like, this is the compromise. Like, we'll keep the middle name.
Yeah.
Or we'll keep the whatever. And if people ask, we'll tell him that's his full name. But when he goes to school,
this is his name.
This is his name. This is what he's going to introduce himself as. This is what I will introduce him as to other people.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Just for your sticky situation, there's an idea.
I do like that idea. I mean, to an extent. I always feel like it's kind of random to do that, but like just in general, it's like, oh, this is a name, but we don't ever call him that. It's like, then why is that his name? Like, I don't ever understand.
Yeah, and you know what?
Rationale, but
my brother would say that all the time about his name. He would be like, why didn't you just name me that? Like, it's so weird. And I was thinking about doing that because of the way that the names were.
The way that it sounds.
Yes,
like
sounds. I'm like, well, this sounds better as the middle name, but I would rather call you this, whatever.
So you were considering naming one of your kids?
Yes.
Okay.
Doing that.
Like calling him by the middle.
Yes, but I always remember my brother saying like, why would you do that to my parents? Not always. Like every day of his life, like a couple times. Mm-hmm. And then he did that to his daughter. I'm like, sir, I made a huge decision because of your experience.
Interesting.
And obviously it wasn't that scarring to you because you did the same thing to your daughter and like they call her middle name instead of her first name. And so maybe it's not that big of a deal because he lived with it and then he literally gave it to his kid. So
yeah, I'm sure
must
it's
not affect that much.
It's not that deep, but yeah, I mean,
I don't envy your position. That's for sure.
I do not at all. I think that if I was in this position, I would compromise on a middle name. I would be like, I will name him, your first name will be his middle name.
Yes.
Like that's where I'm at. I feel like that would be
he could have 4 names.
The route I would take. You could have you can have tons of names.
Yes.
I know someone that just named their daughter has like 4 or 5 middle names.
I think that's a great idea. Keep the name and then just put the name you want as the first name. So then it's
true.
Whatever name you like, blank. I'm trying to think of a good.
I know.
Craig. That's the name you decide to go with. That's been on your baby name for forever. Craig. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, true. Just make the first and middle
that's
name
a great idea.
his middle name.
Yes.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then, and you never reference it again.
Beautiful.
Okay, guys, sorry we only got to a few of these because we were really yap central today.
Yeah,
specifically about anxiety.
Yeah.
We just, us ruminating during the episode are like going down spirals.
I'm like, and back to that. What is the symptom?
Yeah. Yeah, give us the specific symptom and everything you've tried so far.
Let me ask Google. Maybe I'll get something different.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for writing in, as always. It's nice to get these more detailed stories, though. It's been really nice to be able to get context. When we used to do advice, I feel like they were shorter and it was harder to like truly give our thoughts because we just didn't get very much info. So thank you for writing in your detailed info. And if you want to be a part of any of our upcoming episodes, you can follow us at What We Said Podcast and you can write in. Also, if you guys want to get tickets to our tour, they are available in some cities. I think only Orlando and Chicago, possibly Dallas.
Possibly Dallas, possibly Mesa.
There were some
hidden tickets.
Yes, there were some seats added to Dallas and Mesa that potentially are available, but those were sold out unless we checked before they added the few. So run on those and also run for Chicago and Orlando because there's no telling. So make sure you get your tickets. We're so excited to hang out with you guys. It's going to be the best time ever. We love you. And
that's what we said. Bye.